Virgo weekly tarot reading for December 6th. So I'm still having a hard time that we're in December. I feel like I lost time this year. And I absolutely know that we switched some timelines this last few months. It's been whiffle waffing. Hi, how's it going? All right, so this is your Virgo reading. All right, here we go for Virgo. So first thing that comes up is indecision for you. Pretty major cards. Look at that. I'm itching my fingers. So first thing we have is the Two of Wands, indecision, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Wands, the Magician, and the Ten of Cups. So a lot of dichotomy going on for you here. However, Wheel of Fortune and the Magician are in play. And what this talks to me about is go time for you. So if you're feeling like you're about to launch or take a leap, these two cards here are telling you that it's definitely time for you to take the leap and for you to stop being so indecisive. We have the Two of Wands. What happens with the Two of Wands is this is fence sitting. We're sitting here with the angel on one shoulder and the devil on the other, and indecision is a decision. And what this tells me is you're feeling stuck. You're feeling as if you haven't got enough information, and so you're continuing to gather this information in order to make a better decision. Now, the goal here for Virgo is to find and acquire balance. You've got this internal and external balance, which is telling us that this is really what you're striving for. The Magician is saying very unequivocally that you have everything that it is that you need. You have the ability, the talent, all the things that are required, and it's likely only you are able to do some of these things. So if there's this moment where you're being called to step up, step in, or lead, this is the moment. This is the time. Courage is one of the subjects that I was talking about with Leo. Was it Leo I was talking to? Leo. It was Leo. Of course, courage, the friendly lion, right? The courageous lion. So courage is so difficult. Self-reflection has been a theme lately where we're looking in the mirror. Everybody wants to do shadow work and look at the source and look at the reason and what's underneath and what's behind these things. But what's true is you can only do so much trauma clearing and shadow work until you really need to begin filling that cup back up. Right? So don't be so hard on yourself. I see that you have the Magician, which is an indicator that it's time to go for it. Right? But you are feeling as if you're backed in a corner, and you do have a little bit of fear. I mean, what is fear but control? And what is fear but worry, right? Fear is a trained response, right? It's not really there. It's not really present yet. It's the thing that we measure ourselves against. Nobody wants to fail. I do pick up also that I think Virgo is having a really hard time articulating right now. You've got the Three of Swords. This is the card that comes up for Mercury retrograde all the time that tells me that people are having a hard time communicating with one another. So you may find a little bit of that energy that's going on for you. I would be very careful in who you trust in the next little phase. I have a card here that indicates that there is distrust that's going on, and you want people to show you. This is a show me the money kind of phase. You want people to show you rather than tell you. You want proof. There's also this energy of feeling rushed as well. We've got the Five of Wands. Sometimes this tells us there's an argument that's going on. I don't really feel like there's an argument. This really feels like there's a rush, right? You're feeling backed into a corner. Five of Wands. Now, if any of you out there read tarot, you'll know that I read a little differently than most. I don't go by the traditional. I go by what the deck tells me. And even though I teach tarot, like the Five of Wands is always an argument or a group, kind of like a group conflict. But the Five of Wands, if you look at this picture, they're feeling backed into a corner. They're really feeling as if there's someone coming at them with weapons and they better just be careful. I do see that you have a strong foundation. You've got the Four of Wands, right? This is your foundation. Next to it, you have the Two of Swords, which is indecision. Again, indecision is a decision. And like I always say, think of not making a decision as if you had a coupon. I could go to this restaurant or this restaurant, but I have a coupon. If you don't make a choice, the coupon can expire. Because not all opportunities just sit there in perfect serving condition. Like dinner's ready right now. If you want this plate of hot food, you have to eat it right now. I want you to think also about a decision being made for you. If you don't make a decision, one will be made for you. Circumstances will change or someone else will make the decision. If you don't decide to get a divorce, your husband may decide to do it. And then you're going to be like, oh, or that's a really bad analogy. So if you don't decide to purchase something that was wonderful for you, or if you don't decide to leave a situation and then the house falls apart because you didn't decide to do the repairs or whatever. It's just some decisions can be made for you. I always use the analogy of Final Destination. You know, not that you're going to die, but the fact that there was the guy talking shit in front of the bus and he stepped in front of it and next thing you know, he was gone, right? It's kind of like that. The universe moves you and pushes you. And if you don't make a decision, the world will kind of switch, right? For you. It'll make it, the circumstances will change. These are terrible analogies, right? Ah, that's so funny. Anyway, so I've got the Two of Swords. It's requiring you to make a decision and stop feeling so pulled in so many directions. And this, you know, it's not that easy anymore. We have so many things that pull us in so many different directions. Yet when you have a practice of meditation and you come to know yourself, it's a lot easier to make these decisions and stand with them because we actually know what it is that we want. I can tell you that your foundation is a little stronger than you believe it is right now. You have the Four of Wands. So, you know, even though we don't feel like there's growth being had, sometimes roots take much longer to take a hold. And yet we don't feel as if there's as much growth as we expect there to be at the time or work we're putting into it. I do see vacation and travel for you and some celebration. So just breathe a little bit with that. But the Five of Cups, man, you're having a really hard time believing people right now or trusting them. I'm going to pull some cards from Mystic Dreamer really quickly. I have a client coming at 5:30, so let's hurry up and get this part knocked out. Hopefully they'll be patient with me. 5 more minutes. Let's look at your Virgo moon. One seems better because they're offering more control over my workload and workspace pays less. Okay. Here we go. Virgo moon. Magician again. So this is your congruency card. Usually you'll have one card that carries over from one deck to the other from your general spread to your moon reading. And you have the Magician and the Fool card. Also judgment. You're being harder on yourself than you need to be. I mean, what if you make a mistake? What if you make a mistake? We learn from making mistakes and we never go back to those situations again. We've learned. You're still a little undecided. You desperately want to make the right choice. I see the Fool card for you. So these opportunities are most definitely in front of you. I really don't feel like you can fail right now, Virgo. I do feel as if you have positivity coming your way if you're patient enough, right? Two of Swords, indecision's killing you, man. Two of Swords, Two of Wands. So what is, you got to look at what's the worst case scenario, one side or the other, and make a decision and be good with it, right? We are going to make mistakes and nothing is perfect. Action. When you put action and intent behind things, the universe recognizes that. And it allows us, then gives us momentum. Having indecision is such a stuck energy. It prevents the universe from movement and flow. I do see the Ten of Cups for you. And what the Ten of Cups is sometimes wanting to be perfect, wanting things to be perfect, wanting things to become the image and the ideal that we have in our mind for ourselves. We also see the Judgment card and the Lovers card, which is a lot of dichotomy, a lot of stuck energy and dichotomy. You have the Eight of Wands, which is fear. So when we have this fear, not fear, sorry, fatigue. So when we have a little bit of fatigue, what ends up happening is we have no motivation. So how do we do that? How do we pull back from that? Really, honestly, just feed the body, feed the soul, give ourselves a break. And if you're feeling rushed, then maybe the decision isn't right because we should have like much better energy toward the decisions that we make. And when we feel rushed, we don't feel as if we have enough, given it enough time. But if we're feeling rushed, maybe it's not the right time. I don't feel as if Virgo can really make any mistakes right now, though. There's a little bit of quitting energy with Virgo as well, right here by the 8 of Cups. You want to walk away from something. This is on your mind more than anything. However, you've got a sense of duty that you don't want to let anyone down, right? So even though you're feeling rushed and you're sitting on the fence, you have the Empress card. The Empress card talks about due time. It also talks about nurturing energy and feminine power. So for a lot of you ladies out there, this is definitely for you, where it's talking about feminine power and leadership. 10 of Pentacles, which is also legacy. Indecision is a decision. And in the same token, indecision sometimes tells the subconscious mind that something's not in alignment. You got some decisions to make. You have the Magician here as well. And the Magician talks about speaking. So maybe it's time for you to speak up and get some more clarity from people that are around you or on the situation. Get an expert. Let's pull a card from you from Divination of the Ancients and see what your card is for this week. No, that was earlier. I didn't shuffle them, so we're going to pull from the middle. Ogam, nature. So unplugging is the answer. So for you in particular, Virgo, this means unplug. Get yourself in nature. If you can't get in nature, do some yoga. If you can't do some yoga, get in a bathtub. Find a way to unplug because that pressure needs to be relieved a little bit so you can see clearly. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. If you want a little more clarity on your personal situation and an in-depth reading, please find me on karmaondeck.com. Please like, subscribe, and share. Leave some comments. Let me know how you feel this reading went, whether it was accurate for you or whether it resonated. Peace be unto you. I will catch you on the